In her lawsuit, Grace claimed Christian cornered her again and tried to force her into an inappropriate act. She fought him off, providing photos of bruises on her forearm as evidence of the altercation. Although she eventually managed to escape, Grace said the experience left her deeply traumatized, both emotionally and mentally. Grace, a young woman working as a stewardess on a luxury yacht, was caught in a deeply unsettling power dynamic. The yacht was rented by one of the most influential families in entertainment, and for many, her story raised troubling questions about how wealth and privilege can lead to entitlement and exploitation. Grace Omar-Kaise's story is one that shocked and outraged the public, forcing everyone to take a hard look at the accusations against Christian Combs. What started as a confrontation quickly escalated into something far more dangerous, leaving fans who once supported him struggling to process the gravity of the situation. And even though all the bad things happened, which happened before Christian Combs was even released from prison, Grace Omar-Kaise had a massive crisis of conscience, which led to, so trying to stay professional, she led him to the theater room, thinking it would just be another task in her long day. But according to Grace, once they got there, the situation took a darker and more terrifying turn. She said Christian blocked her escape, trapping her in the room and leaving her feeling powerless and vulnerable. Grace described this second encounter as even more distressing and frightening than the first. She claimed that Christian, unfazed by her resistance, told her to get back to work. He reportedly demanded that she find him a place to sleep on the yacht, making it clear she had no choice but to do as he said. Grace admitted she felt trapped, she needed the job, and couldn't afford to risk losing her paycheck. Grace Omar-Kaise shared a heartbreaking account of what she says happened between her and Christian Combs. It all began with a confrontation that quickly escalated. Grace said she managed to break free during a physical struggle and put some distance between them, hoping that would be the end of it. But things didn't stop there. She said Christian offered her a shot of liquor, which she suspected was spiked. Even though she felt uneasy, Grace managed to push him away and tell him to stop. However, she alleged that he ignored her protests and tried to kiss and grope her despite her clear objections. According to TMZ, Grace Omar-Kaise, the woman suing Christian, said she was working as a stewardess on what was supposed to be a family-friendly yacht trip, but things took a dark turn when Christian, also known as King, arrived. Grace claimed that he immediately started making her uncomfortable, fixating on her in a way that felt inappropriate. Christian Combs' loyal supporters started to rethink their stance when shocking allegations came to light. The lawsuit against him didn't just damage his image, it made people question everything they thought they knew about Diddy's family. What seemed like a picture-perfect family dynamic was now under scrutiny, leaving many wondering if there was more to the story than anyone realized. Grace detailed in her lawsuit how what should have been a routine job quickly became a traumatic experience. Her allegations shocked the public, leaving people stunned and struggling to process the news. The yacht, meant to be a backdrop for family celebrations, suddenly became the center of the media firestorm. A woman named Grace Omar-Kaise accused Christian of sexually assaulting her while she was working as a stewardess on a luxury yacht. The yacht, rented by Diddy for a family holiday, was supposed to be a festive and peaceful getaway. Instead, according to Grace, it turned into a nightmare. She claimed the incident happened in late December 2022, just days before New Year's 2023. Christian Combs' life took a shocking turn when he became the focus of a serious legal scandal. The loyal support he had always enjoyed from fans started to fade after news broke that he was facing a lawsuit involving deeply disturbing accusations. Supporters didn't hold back, flooding the internet with posts defending Christian and Justin. They argued the brothers were just innocent bystanders, caught in a situation that had nothing to do with them. Fans saw the whole thing as a witch hunt aimed at Diddy, with Christian and Justin unfairly dragged into the chaos. When news broke that Christian and Justin were briefly detained during the raids, people were furious. Social media lit up with outrage, with fans calling out the authorities for going too far. Many believed the raids were nothing more than a flashy display of power and slammed law enforcement for unfairly targeting the brothers instead of focusing on Diddy, the actual person of interest. Christian and Justin Combs have always had loyal fans who refused to connect them to their father Diddy's controversies, no matter how messy things got. Even when the situation escalated dramatically, like during those shocking Homeland Security raids on Diddy's properties, fans stood by the brothers without hesitation. Now though, as more details come to light, it's starting to get harder for people to turn a blind eye. Could it be that Christian's laid-back image was just that, an image? Fans are left wondering if there's more to his story than they ever thought. Rumors about Diddy's kids being caught up in his mess aren't new. They've been floating around for years, but fans fans always dismissed them, saying whatever Diddy did has nothing to do with his kids. They refused to let guilt by association tarnish Christian and Justin's image. When the drama with Diddy first hit the headlines, people were quick to support Christian and his brothers. Fans rallied behind them, defending them with full confidence and insisting they had nothing to do with the chaos surrounding their father. To most, it seemed impossible that Christian or Justin could be involved in any of the allegations tied to Diddy. Christian Combs has always seemed like the ultimate cool and laid-back guy, but lately it's looking like that might not be the full story. Over the past few months, some surprising revelations have come out, and fans are starting to question everything. So what really went down between Christian and Raven, and is there more to this story than we're hearing right now? Let's break it all down, because this situation is wild and it's only getting messier. What's really sad is that a lot of people thought Christian took after his mom, Kim Porter. Sure, he's always been known to enjoy partying, but that's pretty normal for someone in their 20s. Nobody expected this kind of behavior from him. Christian's girlfriend, Raven Tracy, has spoken out with some serious accusations. She says he hasn't just been cheating on her with other women, there are men involved too. Even more shocking, she claims he put his hands on her, leaving her with bruises. If that wasn't enough, Raven suggests Christian tried to shut her up by threatening to leak private videos of her. It's giving major deja vu, because these allegations feel way too similar to the kind of trouble his dad, Diddy, has been tied to in the past. Looks like Christian Combs, son of Diddy, is in the spotlight again, and not for good reasons. Just when we thought the drama with Diddy and his family was behind us, new claims about Christian have come to light that are causing quite stir. We have not seen this woman's claim, but we expect the same kind of fabricated lies that Tyrone Blackburn and his clients have used before, just as we saw in Rodney Jones's lawsuit, which hasn't even been served yet. Seeing how badly Christian was handling the situation, Diddy's legal team stepped in to defend him. They released a statement that read, "His cocky attitude, flashy social media posts, and total disregard for how his behavior came across made things worse. People expected some sort of response, an apology, a denial, something. But Christian gave them nothing. It left many feeling disrespected, especially those who had initially supported him." The public's frustration with Christian Combs quickly turned into full-blown anger. People were stunned that he didn't address the serious allegations against him or even deny them. To many, his silence wasn't just disappointing, it felt like a slap in the face. Here was someone facing claims as serious assault, and instead of trying to clear his name or take responsibility, Christian acted like it was just another day in his glamorous life. His behavior only made things worse. People felt he wasn't taking the accusations seriously and wasn't showing any accountability. Instead of handling the situation with care, he seemed more focused on maintaining his flashy image and throwing out defiant lyrics. Rather than stepping back, keeping a low profile, or addressing the accusations with humility, Christian chose to lean into a cocky, carefree image. He acted as though the allegations didn't matter, almost flaunting a sense of untouchability. Fans and critics alike noticed, and the reaction wasn't pretty. Instead of coming across as confident, his words felt tone-deaf to many. For those following the case, it was hard to ignore how dismissive and arrogant his behavior seemed. To Grace Omar Kais and others who've faced similar experiences, this attitude came off as a complete disregard for the seriousness of the situation. They're gonna try to stop these M&Ms, and they're gonna die trying. Been hated on by many men, and man, that's fine. When all they had was 50 Cent, who put the city on the map. Stop lying. I dare one of you ninjas scream out, "No, Diddy." But Christian didn't stop there. He also used the song to take a shot at 50 Cent, who had been poking fun at Diddy online. Christian rapped, he on the G6, Diddy, asking where my pops at, throwing shade. Get your shines up. Are y'all talking like a ninja time's up? Cause that's the one they missed. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, huh? Knockman walls down like when them feds ran both out create. What really sparked outrage was the release of a song where Christian seemed to openly mock the situation. In the track, he boasted about how he and his father Diddy would beat the charges, making light of what many considered a very serious matter. Some of the lyrics were particularly controversial. Christian Combs' response to the serious allegations against him shocked everyone, and not in a good way. Instead of keeping a low profile or addressing the claims in a way that could help repair his image, he did the exact opposite. He kept living his flashy lifestyle, partying, posting on social media, and acting as if nothing was wrong. What made the situation even more shocking was Christian's reaction, or lack of one. While most people would be overwhelmed by accusations this serious, Christian appeared completely unbothered. His seemingly casual attitude left many wondering if he truly understood the gravity of what was being said about him. Grace claimed that as her employer, Diddy had an obligation to protect her from harm. Her lawsuit didn't just focus on Christian's actions, but painted a bigger picture of negligence and irresponsibility, pointing the finger at both father and son. For the public, seeing Christian and Diddy named in lawsuits for two separate, serious allegations raised even more concerns about what might really be going on in this powerful family. Grace Omarkai's lawsuit didn't just target Christian Combs. It also named his father, Diddy, as a co-defendant. This bold move grabbed attention, but it wasn't entirely surprising. Diddy had rented the yacht for the family holiday and technically employed Grace during the trip. She argued that this made him responsible for her safety, accusing him of negligence for failing to provide a secure work environment and allowing the events that led to the alleged assault. Now, both Raven and Christian's social media pages tell a different story because they just look like two people who are living their best lives. But then we need to remember that Cassie's relationship with Diddy looked great from the outside. We thought that they had a great thing going on and that Diddy spoiled Cassie, but from what we now know, it was a complete nightmare. There are also reports of him cheating on Raven, but Chile, that part is not surprising given everything we know about the Combs boys, but I want to know how you guys feel about this. So drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video. Past relationships fans are starting to see a pattern that feels eerily familiar, and they're calling him out for it in a way Christian might be digging his own hole by playing into these comparisons instead of distancing himself from his dad's infamous image, which kind of explains the new allegations that his girlfriend Raven Tracy is making against him, according to one of Raven's friends who chose to stay anonymous. Raven allegedly told her that Christian allegedly mistreats her. Now, we don't know if he physically puts his hands on her or if it's more verbal or emotional, but the insider claims that Raven feels stuck in the relationship. The parallels to his father are hard to ignore, especially with all the ongoing drama surrounding Diddy. Christian's behavior is making people question whether he's learned from his father's mistakes or if he's repeating them. Fans aren't just looking at the posts, they're starting to connect the dots, and what they're seeing is raising a lot of eyebrows. Many are beginning to scrutinize Christian's behavior, wondering if he's heading down a similar path. The tone of some of his posts, particularly involving his girlfriend, has sparked concern. Fans feel like she's being treated more like a prop or a status symbol than an individual. The photos often seem to focus more on boosting Christian's image than genuinely celebrating their relationship, leaving people uneasy. GW87, and GW8. Christian has been flaunting his relationship and luxurious lifestyle on social media, but is not landing well with fans. The issue isn't just the public displays of affection, it's how some of these posts are starting to come across, especially in light of his family's history. Given Diddy's controversial reputation when it comes to how he's treated women, fans can help but draw uncomfortable comparisons. If Christian thought this move would help people move on from the controversy, he couldn't have been more wrong. Instead, it brought the lawsuit and his behavior right back into the spotlight. Fans were once again talking about his lack of accountability, his over-the-top confidence, and his unwillingness to address the serious accusations against him. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The backlash came quickly, with many calling him out for acting like the past year hadn't been a complete disaster for both him and his father. To them, it felt like Christian was ignoring reality and pretending everything was perfect. It was the same dismissive attitude that had already upset so many people, and this post only made things worse. Christian caused a stir on Father's Day when he posted a heartfelt tribute to Diddy, calling him the greatest. This was the same Diddy who was dealing with serious scandals of his own at the time. Christian's post said, "Happy Father's Day to the greatest. Love you, Pops," as if the lawsuits, allegations, and drama weren't even a factor. A few months later, Christian started creeping back into the public eye. Slowly but surely, he returned to Instagram, casually posting like nothing had happened. There was no apology, no explanation, and no hint of accountability. Just a quiet attempt to slip back into his old life. It was as if he thought people's memories were short and the controversy had already blown over. Eventually, Christian seemed to realize the heat was too much to handle. He pulled back, stopped flaunting his lifestyle on social media, and disappeared from the spotlight. For a moment, it looked like he was trying to let the storm settle and let people forget. Christian reportedly found out about the lawsuit, just like the rest of us, through the media, after attorney Tyrone Blackburn made it public. His response, or rather the lack of it, didn't help his case. Fans were livid, dragging him online for his arrogance and refusal to acknowledge the serious accusations. His untouchable attitude only fueled the backlash, and it didn't take long for people to turn against him.